Hello and welcome to Jeff's Pianist Academy. This video is for you if you want to play the piano but you don't have an instrument yet. What kind of piano should you be looking for, or do you need to have an instrument at home at all? These are the topics we will be speaking today about. First of all, when choosing a piano, we have two categories: the acoustic piano, grand piano, or a digital piano or a keyboard. Besides the sound and the mechanic of the instrument, in the matter of a space at your apartment, the money, and your neighbors. On our channel, we mostly speak about the classical music, not about the accompaniment of the pop songs. So you will need a piano with 88 keys. Most digital and acoustic pianos have 88 keys, but you can also find some keyboards with 61 or 72 keys. 72 keys would be enough for most of the compositions you will be playing at the beginning, but it might be confusing for you to play on a regular piano afterwards. After you have decided that you will be looking for a piano with 88 keys, you have three options: a keyboard, a digital piano, or an acoustic piano. There are different kinds of keyboards. Some of them are cheap and have even smaller keys, and these keys have almost no weight, so you have no resistance at all when you play this piano. The expensive keyboards are used by the composers and pop artists because they have different programs and the possibilities to play some pre-recorded parts, or you have different beats or different options. For the classical music, we do not need these special options for the beats. We need the pedals and we need the weighted keys. A keyboard is portable, so you can easily move it to another location, bring it to your friends or to a concert, and you can also easily store it if you have a smaller apartment. And you can also use headphones to practice silently. This option you will also have on a digital piano. You can either adjust the volume and have a softer sound, or you can use headphone. It is very neighbor and family friendly. It allows you to practice at any time, even at night. I'm a professional pianist, but from time to time I have to accompany the choirs in the church on a keyboard. And the sound is never the same, but if you are used to play the regular real piano, you can try to imitate this kind of sound and technique on this keyboard, but it never works other way around. If you would start practicing on a keyboard and then move to a real piano, a real piano is acoustic piano, you will have a lot of problems. So I would not recommend you to buy a keyboard if you have an option to buy at least a good digital piano. So let's move to the digital piano. Digital piano is a keyboard which was designed to imitate the sound of a real piano. So while on the acoustic piano the sound is produced when the hammer hits the string and the strings start vibrating, on the digital piano there is no such thing, but it imitates the sound of the acoustic piano. A digital piano has usually 88 keys and 2 or 3 pedals. You rarely need 3 pedals. It would be enough. Usually we use the sustain pedal and sometimes a soft pedal. If you want to know more about the functions of these pedals, please watch the video I will link up here about the pedals on the acoustic piano and their different functions. The most important thing is that the keys should be weighted. This means when you press the key, this should not be too easy for you, because as I already told earlier, on cheap keyboards you would just press it right away, and you should feel some resistance while pressing the key. Well, now this is a grand piano. Some of the digital pianos have a fantastic sound and it almost feels like you would be playing an acoustic piano, but they also cost more. I would highly recommend to go to the store and ask the assistants to help you or to try out different pianos. Very often you have a headphones, or you can take your own headphones maybe, so you can play without thinking what other people think of your playing, because I know it might be difficult at the very beginning. You have to try these instruments yourself and get used to this, because the digital piano as well as the acoustic piano will take some room, some space in your apartment. You really need to like it. And unlike keyboards, digital pianos are more difficult to move around. Last but not least, the acoustic piano. It's very special because it's real. You are not imitating the sound, you are creating the sound. You have much more influence on the touch because it's connected with the hammer which hits the string. But you also have to care more about your acoustic piano. You will need to tune it and care about the humidity. Mentioning the tuning, I mean that you need to invite somebody to tune the piano and it costs money. And usually you cannot plug in the headphones on your piano if you practice at the late evening. Nowadays there is an option for the hybrid pianos. This is acoustic pianos with a silent mode function. When silent mode is activated, the hammers no longer hit the strings. Instead, a sensor technology captures the movements of the keys, and the sound is reproduced by a digital tone. These pianos are very expensive, but they combine real piano mechanic plus the possibility to practice with the headphones. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned that it might not be necessary to have an instrument at home. Sounds weird, right? But not the piano at your apartment makes you to a pianist, but the time you practice on this instrument. And there are different options where and how you can practice. These options might be not very convenient, but they're good solutions for the beginning. Especially in the big cities, there are often rooms which offer you the practice time with an instrument. So you can buy 1 hour or more and practice on an upright piano or even on a grand piano. A very good thing about this is when you go and practice there, you need to plan it in advance. So this means maybe you will know exactly how many times a week you will be practicing. When you book this and pay money, you know that this time is already paid, and it would be a shame if you don't use it very well. You have a setting of a time and of a good instrument, and usually there is nothing in the room which can disturb you, besides your phone, of course. Everything would be here to offer you a very professional practicing atmosphere. And some people feel even more productive while practicing away from home. But if you already have a keyboard or a digital piano, I would also recommend you to find a possibility to practice on a real instrument. I know it's not always easy, but maybe your friend have one, or there is an education facility not far away from where you live. But the piano, whether it is a digital piano or acoustic piano, is expensive, and some people are looking for on the internet for a second-hand options. You might be surprised, but some people would give away the acoustic piano for very little money or even for free. Very often these pianos are the grandparents, and when they're no longer alive and the family needs to free the apartment, they're happy if somebody come and pick up this instrument. Unfortunately, very often these pianos had not been tuned for years. In some cases, the tuning of the instrument would not help anymore. You will need to invest into a renovation. This may cost quite a lot without any guarantees that your piano will stay in tune as it should. I know it's much easier if someone just sent you a link telling you that it's the best instrument and it's relatively inexpensive. But the needs and wishes of the people are different, and this is why I just give you several options. So hopefully it will help you to find your instrument on which you will spend many hours practicing your favorite pieces. If you've already found your dream instrument, feel free to share it in the comments. Your experience may help the others. Thank you very much for watching this video. Have a nice day.